There's a certain quiet nobility in those who walk through life with pieces of themselves missing, and yet still manage to offer something beautiful to the world. They don't shine because of how untouched they are by pain, but precisely because they've been broken and still dare to keep their hearts open. These are the people you meet who feel different. Not louder. Not stronger. Just deeper. Softer in their gaze. Slower in their judgments. More patient with silence. They carry the weight of lived experience, and they've learned to wear it with grace. The world, in its obsession with flawless surfaces and filtered realities, teaches us that being broken is something to hide. That pain should be fixed. Those scars should be airbrushed. That anything less than perfect is a failure. But that isn't the truth. The truth is, our brokenness isn't a defect. It's a doorway. To empathy. To understanding. To depth. Because struggle doesn't just scar us, it sculpts us. It shapes the very architecture of who we become. Pain doesn't just teach, it transforms. It humbles. It awakens. It pulls the mask off your face and forces you to see what's underneath all the pretending. You can't fake your way through heartbreak. You can't intellectualize your way out of grief. You can't outrun shame. You have to feel it. Sit with it. Break under the weight of it. And that's terrifying. Because we live in a culture that treats vulnerability like a disease. We're told to get over it. To toughen up. To move on. But some things don't need to be moved on from. Some things need to be metabolized. Felt in full. And only then, integrated into who we are. And yet, this is where something beautiful happens. Because the moment you stop fighting your brokenness is the moment you begin to really see yourself. Not the version you show the world. Not the curated self, the high-functioning mask. But the raw you. The aching you. The you that's been abandoned, betrayed, forgotten. The you that still showed up anyway. The you that kept loving despite being unloved. The you that chose softness in a world that rewards hard edges. There's a beauty in that. A resilience that isn't made of steel, but something much rarer, emotional truth. Because strength isn't always about holding it together. Sometimes strength is found in the courage to fall apart. To stop pretending. To say, I'm not okay. And to trust that you don't have to be in order to still have worth. In this way, struggle becomes a kind of initiation. It breaks the ego. Burns the illusions. And if you let it, it builds a new foundation. One rooted in honesty. In humility. In empathy. You begin to see suffering not just in yourself, but in others. You read between the lines. You sense the pain behind someone's smile. You hear the loneliness in someone's silence. That sensitivity? That awareness? It's not a weakness. It's a gift. But it's a gift that was earned the hard way. The people who've struggled often become the safest places for others. Not because they have answers, but because they've stopped pretending that answers are what people need. Sometimes, people just need to be seen. And those who've been broken know exactly how to do that. What's more, pain creates perspective. When you've known what it's like to lose your time, your sense of self, your sense of safety, you begin to cherish things differently. The little things. A quiet conversation. A kind gesture. A moment of peace. You stop chasing the illusion of constant happiness and begin to appreciate the complexity of being human. You begin to understand that joy doesn't mean the absence of pain, it means the presence of meaning in spite of it. But let's not romanticize pain either. Not all struggle makes us better. Some wounds don't heal neatly. Some people are broken in ways they never asked to be. Abuse. Trauma. Neglect. These are not gifts. And yet, even from these places, some people build lives of incredible depth and generosity. That's not a celebration of suffering. That's a testament to human will. to the strength it takes not just to survive, but to love after being hurt, to trust after being betrayed, to hope after being shattered. This is why the metaphor of being broken is so powerful. Because brokenness doesn't mean being ruined. It means being changed, reconstructed. And that change, as painful as it is, can give birth to something you could have never imagined if life had stayed smooth and safe. Like a tree that grows around the wire fence that once tried to cut it in half, we, too, grow around our pain. Not in spite of it, but with it. We integrate it into the grain of who we are. And that integration, that honesty, is where true beauty lives. You see it in the eyes of someone who's suffered. Not bitterness, but depth. Not anger, but understanding. They don't need to be the loudest in the room because they know what silence costs. They don't need to prove they're right because they've been wronged and learned that being right rarely heals anyone. They move through life not with certainty, but with awareness. A deep knowing that life is hard, people are complicated, and love is fragile, but still worth trying for. This is what struggle teaches us if we let it, that healing isn't about becoming unbroken, it's about becoming whole. And wholeness isn't the absence of wounds. It's the ability to carry them with grace. So if you are broken, or have been, don't rush to fix it. Don't silence the lessons. Don't bury the ache. Let it speak. Let it teach. Let it change you. Not into someone more perfect, but someone more true. Because that truth, raw, unfiltered, and alive, is the most beautiful thing you'll ever carry. Maybe the real question isn't how do I stop being broken, but what is this brokenness trying to show me about who I really am? Let yourself become. Not in spite of the cracks, but through them. Would you still want a perfect life if it meant being a shallow version of yourself? Or would you rather be whole, wounded, wiser, and real? Let that question linger.